Today is July 2nd, 2016. I think this is going to be a short one. So the only things that I really did today, so I got up early and went to the hospital. I'm going to call it a hospital. Probably wasn't really a proper hospital, but anyway, made sure that Camille had support for what she was doing. And then I just hung out there for probably 2 or 3 hours. And then she was all finished everything. And then I just we ended up taking the bus back. Like, she was totally alright afterwards. So, yeah, it was a really uneventful morning. Well, it was uneventful for me because I was just to support and make sure that she got back to her apartment afterwards. So that was all a success. I was really happy about that. And then after that, I went over, had some lunch, totally loving the... I'm going to get fat, really, really fat, because there's just so much good food to eat here, and it's pretty cheap. So I just constantly find myself eating, and it is even easier because in Southeast Asia, I had my magic pointer finger. I never knew what anything was, so I just point and hope that it was decent. Whereas in Greece, at least in Athens so far, it seems like most people have some degree of English, and instead of me just pointing at random things, thinking, oh, I'll just give it a go anyway, I actually have the ability to ask. And it's not even like China, it's so much easier. So I just found myself going, what's this? What's that? What's this? What's that? And they're, at least in the bakeries, they're really good at humoring me. There's one that's just next to my hotel. And she's so friendly, and she never looks like she's getting pissed off at me and all my crazy questions about what everything is. And so back to the point, so I had lunch, and then, yeah, there were a few trips to the bakery today. But proper food as well. Like, I had more Greek salad today, and I had some gyros. And so after lunch, I went to the Greek Parliament buildings, but there wasn't really much there. I mean, I understand that at times there are with all the demonstrations. But today, pretty peaceful and not a lot going on. But there's a park right next to it, and it's a really big park. It's got the National Gardens and stuff in it. So I just hung out there for maybe a couple hours, and of course every day is just beautiful and sunny, so it doesn't really matter what I do. It's sunny and it's warm and it's lovely. So I was quite happy there for a couple hours, and then I finished up there, and then by then it was pretty much dinner time, so more food, and then and that's sort of in the neighborhood of my hotel, and then I came back to the hotel, and then before I knew it, I was back at the bakery. So, and then that pretty much takes me through to where I'm at right now, which is near enough bedtime. Tomorrow, however... Oh, wait, no, there's one more thing. Okay, so I'm hoping that when I put up this post for today, I took a picture of the lift. This is just for the hotel I'm at, but there's been 2 or 3 other places where this is it's like a common standardized lift for buildings in Athens. And they're really tiny, like in Camille's building as well. They're really, really tiny, so you can mostly fit 1 person in them. 2 if you're crammed up next to the person. And they say maximum capacity too. There's no way that you'd be able to fit 3 people in them anyway. And they're really old school. Like, you open up the door as though it's like a door to the room or something. Like, you physically open it up, and then you have to wait until, my dear Lord, I've just realized how boring this actually is as I describe lifts in Greece. Anyway, I'm sorry. The So you open up the door, but you know that the lift is there when the little light, there's a little window in the door, and then it turns on, so you can see the lift arriving. It turns on, and then you open up the door because it magically unlocks. You get in, you press the button, and I swear these things were all built in the 50s because you just suddenly drop. Like there's no gradual stop or start. You just boom, and then once you get to the floor that you want, you just hear this little clicking sound, and then you have to push the door open. And it's amazing how trained I am to expect different things, because I swear every single time, and it's been probably 10 times that I've gone up and down these lifts, where I'm stood there, I've got to the floor that I want to go to, and I just stand there thinking, and thinking that the door should be opening, right? Like you go to the floor, and then you just normally, the door opens, and that's how you know you're at the floor. Whereas these ones, you know that you've arrived because you've stopped going down or up, but I still just keep standing there going, I'm learning. Sadly, it's taking me a lot longer than I thought I probably needed to master a lift. But I'm hoping tomorrow's a big day. On that note, tomorrow, catching up with Camille again. Oh, I've got more news on that as well. Okay, so, wait. So tomorrow, catching up with Camille, and then we're heading up some of the sites. So we had bought this, Athens pass or whatever, where you get a lot of the big sites are included, and it's €30, and you can just go to whichever ones you want. So tomorrow, we're hoping to hit as many as we possibly can, hopefully all of them, and then maybe a couple that aren't on our little pass thing that we have. So I think that'll be another long day, which is fine, because today's been so cruisy that I've kind of been like, I'm ready for another big day. And then tomorrow, I think will be my last full day in Athens, because on Monday, I haven't booked it yet, but I think it should be pretty straightforward. I want to leave on Monday and then get back on, I want to do a 4-day bus tour of Greece, which I think in, one of my last posts, I was talking about how Greece was just a dream a year and a half ago, and how this movie that I had watched called My Life in Ruins, and it all took place on a bus, and they were on this bus trip. So again, this is kind of like living out something that I had only just dreamed of back in Auckland. So I hope to have 4 days on this bus going around Greece. I have found the lowest of the low budget. I think it'll be just like the movie, where the bus might break down and the tour guides are terrible, but I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see parts of Greece, and I'm excited that the tour is so cheap, and I'm just really looking forward to seeing what else there is in Greece. So I'm getting an idea of what Athens is like, and I'd like to see more. So after I get back, Camille and I have booked flights to Santorini, which again, another big dream, and the flights leave, first thing really early on Friday morning. So we'll have I only want to spend a day or two in Santorini, but I think Camille's got maybe three days, so she's got a while there. Maybe I'll stay for that long, maybe I won't, not too sure. And then I want to check out some of the other islands, the Greek islands, before I leave Greece. And today I spent a little bit of research time just getting my head around what that might possibly look like, and time frames, and just planning. So I think I've got something in my head, and if it works, it works. I think it's definitely possible. So I'll keep you posted on that. Anything else that I needed to mention? No. Oh, so I know why. I know why accommodation is so cheap, because I was so excited about this €25 hotel that I've got booked. And now I know. It's because the area that I'm staying in is one of the dodgiest areas in all of Athens. Like, who'd have guessed? And I only realized, I thought something was up. I was like, there's a lot of stores around here that have just closed up shop. Like, there's a lot of, and I thought it was just Greece and Athens, like responding to everything that has happened since I think it was 2011, 2012. And part of that's true. But a lot of that is because it is really a dodgy area. And as soon as the sun goes down, you're not meant to be outside. And the things that I witnessed today when I was having dinner, I was like, oh, I get it now. I get it. So I feel like this is a happy place in my hotel room now that the sun has gone down. This is a good place for me to be, because I know that if I was to step outside, then I might see something that I don't really want to be seeing, or experiencing something that I don't want to experience. So I'll just wait. Yeah, so sunrise tomorrow, I'm sure I'll be great. We'll have an early day for sightseeing, and yeah, that's it. Good night.